Hey guys, welcome back to my video, and then today I will be doing a different kind of video, and then I will be showcasing you my deck list for Steam Maiden deck that I used to win BSF Toronto like last week. So it was definitely a great experience for me, and it's actually like my first time traveling for a Bushiroad event. So yeah, not including the snowstorm, but like other than that, I had a pretty fun experience, and I'm looking forward to that even more in the future. So starting off with the starter, I'm using this starter. This is like the best one. I feel like Chrono Dren and Chrono Tiger are like, too common, like meh. Sorry, Charlie, but like, yeah, if you're using the starter, you're like base as fuck. I like that. So for the first grade 4, I am playing 4 grade 4 Uluru. This card is like definitely the card that like saved me in top 8. So like what happened in top 8 was like I was playing against Astral Poets, and then the guy like crit me on turn 1 and turn 2. So I was at 4 damage. I had like 3 of this in my hand. And then Valkyrian swing for 70k with like triple drive, and I couldn't guard. And I got hit a crit and I almost died right there. And then turns out I hit a heal on 5th damage, so I was at 5. And then I managed to like guard everything. And then like for the last attack, he restood Valkyrian and attack for 70 to my 23. I just like 2 guard with this, which is like a 73. So like that was like definitely a close match. I think that's like the most intense match I've ever had, like in that tournament, for sure. This card also helps you to set up your bind zone. Let's say if you use this in bind zone, you can choose like whatever you're missing in the bind zone. Let's say a grade 2 or a grade 1, and you can just bind them together. And plus this 25 shield value is like really big. Also, you can also like drop this early when you use a gear dog, so you get like your main grade 3 right, and then later on if you have a heal, you can ditch the heal and you can call this from drop, and then you can also like bind 1 or like bottom deck 1. During the tournament, I never used the bottom deck skill because I feel like having a setup in the bind zone is like more important than that. So yeah, depending on the scenario, you can also like if you desperate for a heal or like if you want more crit, you can also do that as well. And then for the next grade 3, I am playing 2 Renovate Dragon. I see some people cut this card for like a jet or like any like other attack. Maybe you want to run more Naboo, but like this card, you don't really use this card a lot because this card needs a soul, and then your first priority for soul is like bite because it helps you set up, and also it helps you to plus as well. But like in V, if you don't play like Time Leaper, there is no way to like search a bike if you don't open it, and then if you don't see it, your game is like this deck is like goes down like a tier or 2 if you don't see bike at all. So if you don't see bike, you can use this to like gamble. Maybe if you're like OP, you can Soul Blast. You check top 3, you can get a bike, and I think your game just like starts to like go better from there. Also, let's say if you have a bind zone, let's say grade 0 or like grade 1, and you're missing like a grade or something, you have it in your hand, you can just call it Soul Blast. You just bind this too, and then yeah, you can help you set up. You check the top 3 as well. To have a chance to hit the pieces that you're missing. And also the downside is like you can write this card in like certain scenario, because like it happened to me, like I wrote this card and I lost because I didn't see ELL. But like most of the time, if you open gear dog, you can either ditch this and get an ELL, or if you have an ELL, you can gear dog the ELL and to search this and you drop this. There's like pretty much a deck 10 of 1 card. But yeah, I think this card's still useful. It doesn't do that much, but like it only works in like a certain scenario, and that scenario could like pretty much help you win the game. And then for the main right, for the grade 3, I'm playing 4 Steam Maiden Elo. This card is like yeah, this is like a very good, like it does like a lot of stuff. It's like gives like a lot of things you could do with that. Let's say if you wanna go for a kill turn, you can like bind your missing pieces in your drop, and then you can call anything from bind zone. no, sorry, call any Steam Maiden from your bind zone. So if you want to sandbag, you can call bike and Tarana and like do your sandbag turn. Also, you can do like call a grade 0 to do like a full ladder. But yeah, and also this card as a rear guard, you wanna end like the ladder ends at like a elo because this gets really big. You get 1k for each of your bind zone. And let's say sometimes if you write this, you can also have to Interana or like Soul Blast it and have it in the bind zone on the drop zone. And then but with its skill you can bind this, or also you can use the grade 2 skill to bind this card when placed from the bind zone. Yeah, this card is like definitely one of the key cards in the deck. And then we're going for the grade 2, playing 4 bike. I think this is like the best card in this deck. Well, maybe like best card in the game. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, this card is like very broken because with one CB you can pretty much call this. You CB1, you call a cat, and from that cat you can get a +1 depending if you hit or not. But like most likely you're probably gonna hit. And then on attack, well boosted at the end of attack, you can solve +1 to check top 2, and you can choose up to 1 and put it in your hand. Like if you have like, let's say if you need to bind, you set up bind zone, you can like also like bind both 2 cards. But like sometimes you get like a trigger or like a grade 2, and you can bind a grade 2 and add the guard value to your hand. Yep, this is like, I think this is like definitely the key card. You want to see this in the game in your opponent hand. If you mull and then you see this card, you're like chilling. You're like, okay, I'm good, we're good. Maybe like this card and another grade 2, let's say this, or like a Naboo or like Korinta, and you can write anything and this as a rear. But like, yeah, sometimes opening 1 is okay, it's good, but like it's not great because like you want the rear guard skill that like matters a lot. But yeah, like without this deck I feel like Steam Maiden is gonna like go down maybe a tier or like 2 tiers. But yeah, this is definitely the card. Please don't ban this, Bushiroad. Lol. Alright, going for the next grade 2. We are playing with 4 ALO. This is like the main time leaper of the deck. This is like, sorry, I mean the ladder. So this is like a bridge from the grade 1 and grade 3. Sometimes the downside of the deck of like, it's like it gets awkward if you don't see this card or if you don't see the grade 1. But like if you don't see this card, the grade 1 can goes into like Naboo, or you can goes into Korinta, and Korinta you can call 1 more card, or like the grade 1 you can go into a bike. But like if you don't see this card, it's like less punishable, you know, because like there's like a lot of good grade 2 in this game. But like if you don't take grade 1, then that's a problem, because you're gonna be stuck from like 0 to like the cat, and that's it. And also since you can also only bind a grade 1 from elo skill, which is like you need the grade 1 like really bad. But yeah, this is definitely a 4 off because like you want to see it from bike and you can bind it. If you have this here, I think you pretty much just like set up, well, not this plus like the grade 1 or grade 0. And then for the flex spot, I am playing with 2 Korinta and 2 Naboo. I'm gonna explain the Korinta first. The reason I'm playing Korinta is like you can technically pretend this card is like a 5th or like 6th bike, but it's just like more expensive. Like sometimes there's a scenario when you don't see bike and then like it could pretty much like ruin your game plan. But if you see this card and they have a grade 1, let's say you have 2 CB, this is your Vanguard, they have grade 1, you can call this CB Soul Blast. If you have two CB, you can definitely like go for the bike play, bike and call a cat and you know do the usual thing. But like sometimes if you only have 1 CB, then you can Kurunta and call a bike, and then you can call a booster behind, and depending like you know how desperate you are, like I did it like once. I had to pretty much like call a grade 1 here and then like just bottom deck my own grade 1 for what's that called, for a bike, which is like it's not optimal, but like you want to see the bike as possible, right? So like that's why I just like kind of risk it, but like it doesn't happen that often. Also like because like sometimes they commit like a booster or something where you can like spin it. I'm not thinking like cutting this Corunta maybe like to one off because I don't really use it because like it's one is like expensive, especially the Soul Blast. You want the Soul like priority to bike, and also the Great One. Your main Great One is like a Soul Blast as well, so sometimes you don't have enough Soul. If you ride the Great One, you Soul Blast to do the draw skill, and then if you Kurunta, use the skill, you don't have a Soul Blast anymore for the bike. So this is only depending on the situation. I think this is still a good tech card, but like depending on preference, you can like change this card to something else. And then the other grade 2, I'm playing to Naboo. I think Naboo is like definitely one of the key cards in the game. It helps you set up. It does like a lot. It has Guard Restrict, and also like what I noticed is like sometimes people, if they go second, they will damage you because they don't want to give you bike. If you have Naboo, you just like just call 2, just chilling, or maybe if you have 1, right? Depending, like sometimes they ditch their quick shield for the grade 3 searcher, but like if they have it, then it's okay. But like if they don't have it, if you attack this, you kind of like, okay, give me 15, or like take it, because this denies a heal guardian and they cannot use it. So like you can, if you're rushing them, this card is like really good. Also, you can also set up on attack. You bind 1 card from your drop to your bind, and then like at the end of turn you draw. It's kind of like recycle the hand size a little bit. I used to play well, for when I won BCS Vancouver, I was using Naboo, but I saw like a lot of people play Lost Break as well, which I tried it a bit. I used to play Lost Break a bit as well. It's definitely a faster way to set up cards because it's on place, you buy and you draw. But like I think the only good card is like you don't really, since they've been Colossus, you don't really need to like have like a lot of bind as soon as possible. You just need to set up. You just need the 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 right card in the bind zone. Let's say the grade 1 and the grade 2. And also the good thing about this card is like if they deny, if like they only give you like 1 CD, they deny you. You don't have to go like 1, 2, 3. You can go like 1 into like Naboo, and then this is like the end of the ladder, and you can just like attack, guard restrict big, and you can also like draw a card. This is like a very good for a sandbag turn alongside with a bike. Also, this goes to the soul, which is like soul is like definitely important in this deck because like you pretty much like want to use bike at least once per turn to like draw a card, and then like this giving you soul is like, okay, if you have no soul, you have a bike here, put this to soul, and you can call this, you soul dust this out. So yeah, there's a lot of play you can do, but yeah. For the first grade 1, I am playing for Gear Cat. This is definitely like one of the best cards because like you can pretty much get this for free when you use Enter on a skill, and then plus on place, this is a free skill. You check top 3, and then you barely miss. Like you can miss sometimes, but like I think personal opinion is like I don't really miss that much in V compared to premium. Like this is weird because like even though the ratio is like the same, but yeah, this is also your main booster, because this card gets like 1k for each of your bind zones. So like the longer the game it gets, the bigger it gets also. And one thing that I noticed and I do like a lot of often and that helped me in the tournament was like, let's say I have a force marker here, like a 1 force marker or like 2, and I have a usually to start the ladder you want to grade 0, and this is only swinging for like 15 or like 25 if you have 2 force marker, and that's like still like a 1 card guard, which is like too easy for them, right? Because like at the like after the grade 1, like all the numbers gonna be big and they're gonna like PG that regardless. So what I did was like, okay, I'm gonna attack with 15, I'm gonna boost 23, and I just, depending how many bind zone I have, that gets like 30, which is like a 2 card guard. You're like, so like they kind of just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna guard with 5 or like guard with 15, makes it like harder to guard. And then once you hit like once you hit the grade 1, it's like either 18, which is like still 2 cards to intercept, or also 28, which is like 2 card guard when you have a 2 force marker. But yeah. And then for the next grade 1, I am playing 4 Steam Maiden Yellow. I think this card is like the most important when you do the ladder thing, because this is the only great one Steam Maiden you have. And then since elo scale is like you have to leap a Steam Maiden, then you want to see it as soon as possible. If you don't see the grade 2, it is awkward, but like you can go to like this into Naboo, Korunta, Bike. Like you have like a lot of good options. If you don't see this, then you're like, okay, I have a grade 0. It's like force here. I have a grade 0 Uluru, and then the other grade 1 is either a cat or a bike. Sorry, a cat or a dog. So like this is awkward. Like this is like the worst one, but like if you go 0 to cat here, you go to cat, at least you can get a +1, which is not still not guaranteed. But like, yeah, if you don't see this, you're like kind of screwed. But like, yeah, this is also your main right target. You on right, you soul +1, get bind the trigger for a +2. Well, technically +1 because like you bind one card, but that helps you set up as well. Or like sometimes if your hand is like not great and you don't want to like bind a PG or something, you can soul blast this, and then let's say you have a grade 2 in your hand, like the other grade 2. There you go. You can bind this, you draw one card. Even though you only bind one card, this kind of helps you set up because this card in the bind zone is like enables like a lot of play for sure. And also the only downside with this is like soul blast. Let's say you have one soul when you write grade 0, and then you soul blast this to use the skill, and then next turn, you cannot do like double bike. Let's say you write grade 2 anything, you only have one soul, which only can do one bike. The most optimal play would be like any grade 2, and then you have the bike here, and you have the Naboo, and then Naboo can like pretty much go to soul, or like you can do bike first to like soul blast the pieces that you need, and then you can buy that from Naboo skill. Definitely a lot of play, but this is the most important card in the ladder. And then for the last grade 1, I am playing 3 Gear Dog 8. This card is pretty versatile. You can do like a lot of things with this card. Let's say if you're going second against Steam Maiden, I think Steam Maiden is like the best deck in format still. And then like you will be expecting a lot of mirror match. And then if you go second, you're kind of like in a disadvantage. But having this, I feel like if you already has like if you have like two grade 3 in your hand, let's say an Elol and a Renovate, you can keep the Elol, and then you can Gear Dog, reveal this, and you had a Heal Guardian. Heal Guardians are really good because like you pretty much stop 2 attack, which is like grade 0 and a grade 1, which is a 15 and 18. And then for the rest, it's potentially a 1 card guard, except the Vanguard, depending on how many bind zone they have. If they have like a lot, the Vanguard is like really big. You can just like eat it or something. Also, if you have this and you have a Elol, you can show the Elol, you can get a Renovate, you can just like ditch your Renovate, because like that's a deck thinning and you don't want to write this card. And then also like sometimes let's say you write grade 3, but like for the next turn you have the follow-up rewrite. It's not optimal, like because like losing a 25k shield is like sucks, but like rewrite is like having 2 force marker is like very very lethal. It's not very, but like it's lethal. It's good enough. It can potentially kill your opponent, but like 3 force marker is like you're dead. But like 2 force marker, you call this and you reveal this. I would just like ditch this to get another Elol, because like if you have a heal, you can still call this from drop zone to bind and set up. But like yeah, having 1 force marker is like potentially plus 10 and times like how many attack you did. If you do full combo, it's like 8, so like that's like plus 80k power, which is like broken. But yeah, definitely like a lot of. I was like thinking of putting this to 4, because some like back then sometimes I missed writing Elol, and it kind of sucks, and I just want to guarantee having a like to write Elol, but like I feel like 3 is good enough, because like other than that this card doesn't really do anything. And also you need also have a grade 3 cards in your hand, and like sometimes if you don't, you just like, oh, this is a dead card, I don't really do anything. Yeah, But this card also counts as a grade 3, so you can use that as well if you have like multiple cards in your hand. For the trigger lineup, it's pretty straightforward. I'm playing 4 draw PG. In this card is like a pretty staple, and then like a combination of 3 of the grade 0 and 1 of the Heal Guardian. I think 1 of Heal Guardian is enough because it's pretty much like searchable from the Gear Dog skill. And then for the Oluru is like you want to see this. This is like just you get a CC if you have this card. And then like usually 1 CB is like 1 attack. However, if you only have 1 CB and like 1 CC open, 1 CB open and like 1 not open, you can pretty much counter charge. And this card gives you like what, like 1 or 2 additional attack. And yeah, this card is like very very good. Also like early game, 20k shield is sometimes like pretty, the 5k shield difference is like helps sometimes. As I guess like a ghost ship that's 29k tier 13. This is 20k, pretty much like helps you got that. And then let's say if you call a gear cat and you get this, I might as well just take it, right? This is a 20k shield, you +1, and also you get one of your pieces to do the full combo. And then for the last, I am playing 8 crit. I think 8 crit is like well, personally for me, I like 8 crit because I like having pressure. Like early game, like in the mirror, or like against any other matchup, if you hit a crit early game, you push them to 2. I think that's a very very good, because I think the main goal for the deck is like push early and like bring them to 3 before you go to the eel turn. And then once you have it, once you're in the eel turn, you can like potentially push the 4 to 5 and then rip a lot of their cards, and then you can just like kill them next turn on a rewrite with 2 force marker. Yeah, so I see like a lot of people like if they go second against me, they just like, okay, I'm gonna like deny your bike, I think, by not giving me CB, which is like um it's understandable. Like like you don't want your opponent to plus, but like I feel like if I go second, I would just attack, because like sure they can use bike next turn. However, if you don't give them attack, if you don't give them CB, they will still use bike regardless the next turn after that. And then like potentially if you hit a crit, that they go to 2 damage, right? Because like going second, I feel like in a mirror match you're already like behind. They have a force marker, and also if you don't have a heal guardian, you're like way 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 behind. So like yeah, um, and also I see like a lot of like people playing like some other tech cards like Chrono Jet, or like Engilsa with a Time Leaper with the Order, or like a Chrono Tiger with Rebellion. That they can like generate force marker if they go first, and pretty much they just rewrite with 3 force marker, and you can probably just die with that. But yeah, I kind of like those variants, like with the Jet especially. Like one of my friends like planning to play with that, but I'm just like I just like consistency better. Like sometimes when you damage check a Time Leaper or like a Jet, you're just like, oh shit, I cannot do this anymore. Even though like the return is good, you get like more. It's more like high roll thing. But yeah, even me right now, I'm still like um, playing Steam Maiden a lot. Just spending my time trying to practice a deck, to pilot the deck better. Yeah, I appreciate like all my friends who are like teaching me playing this deck since day one. Um, yeah, I feel like the deck is pretty simple. Well, not simple. I would say like people can say that like the deck is simple because like, oh, use time leap 0, 1, 2, 3. But like sometimes you like have like a little different situation where let's say, oh, I'm missing a combo pieces. Oh, I cannot kill and I don't have enough CB. Then like which one I should go, right? You can go like, do I want to send back another turn? Do I want to push? Well, send back. I think like those are like a lot of different scenario that happens in the game. And then I feel like the more time you spend on the deck, I feel like the more used to be. You more used you are to like how the deck better. But yeah, I think like if you have any question regarding the deck list or like any tech, or if you have any question about the play, you can definitely like um, write a comment below. And then like I hope you guys enjoy the deck list. And then yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. And then see you in the next video. Bye guys.